So hi you guys, welcome back to my video. I want to talk about epidural. Um, I'm really against it. I really want to go natural labor, but everybody say like, yeah, that's what you say now, but wait till you get in labor. But my fear is that I have a high allergy to pain medication, which I have a severe allergy where it swells everything, where it's my throat, my ears, I get very itchy inside, like everywhere. Places you wouldn't even imagine that you will have an itch, but I do get that there. um, I have it messes with my breathing, my asthma, because I guess the allergic reaction from the medicine not only affects with just like my ears, my neck, but it also affects with my lungs. So that is one reason why I'm really against getting epidural. And yes, the hospital will say like, well, you'll be okay. We'll make sure we watch it, but I don't want to take that chance because they say that a lot of times. Like they gave me codeine and I had a severe allergy to it, and it was crazy because I just had my tonsils removed, and then they gave me certain antibiotics, and then they try to like, well, I have an allergic reaction to the antibiotics, but let's give you a different antibiotics, and then it makes the allergic reaction even worse. So I kind of don't want to take, like, I kind of don't trust the hospitals or the doctors. Like, yeah, it's just like your experiment with me. Like, we'll see how this goes. If this don't work, then we'll give you something else. And I don't want that to happen. I don't want to be super sick, and I don't want nobody sticking me around my back. I don't want you near nothing. No, just down there where the baby coming from. I don't want you sticking me in my back. I barely want you giving me an IV. But, you know, I'm just saying. I'm not saying, if I was okay and knowing that I would have a safe delivery with using epidural, then I probably would be okay. But yeah, but you don't know. This is my first child. This would be my first birth, and I don't want them putting nothing in my back. No, you're not touching my spine. I don't care how much pain I am. I would rather bite my husband's head off than them to give me epidural. You're not touching my spine. And I told my husband, if we have to get an emergency C-section, I would rather them use anesthesia, because I researched anesthesia is much safer. You don't have all that after stuff that you would have with epidural. You're able, it's just like when you wake up and you have to like an hour and a half, you have recovery. You don't lose the numbness in your legs, or you don't get all this other crap that you shouldn't even be having to go through. And so I'm okay with getting anesthesia because I've been put to sleep a lot of times. I've had many surgeries. I look at it safer, but some people want to be awoke when they want to be awake when the baby is born. But I'm okay not being awake. I'm okay with knowing that I'm going to wake up okay and I'm going to be fine, because I have been under anesthesia about 6 times, or who knows, you know. I've had a major face surgery and I look fine. I woke up great. I can breathe, so I'm okay with going under anesthesia and not seeing my baby come out the first, like, right out. I'm okay with that. As long as I get to see him when I wake up, I think I'll be fine. But I'd rather go through anesthesia, being put to sleep. I mean, a lot of times you don't know what's going to happen. Like when you go and you're awake and you get an epidural, things don't always go the way they're supposed to go. And, you know, you don't get to, you see your baby, like a glimpse of your baby, but you don't see, like, you don't get to hold the baby, feed the baby right away. You know, you go to recovery, and it depends on how sick you get after how sick you get after the epidural. So my choice, I told my husband, I want a water birth. If we can't have a water birth, then I really want a natural birth. But if something do come up and we have to get emergency C-section, I would prefer anesthesia than an epidural, because I don't want them touching nothing. Not my back. You're not touching my back. No. They barely can find a place to put an IV in my arm. What makes you think I want you sticking something in my back? No. And I have very little veins, and yeah. A lot of times when I have to get surgery, I have to get my IV like on the side somewhere, Like they have to try to find a vein on the side because they're sticking me 3 times in my arm and they can't get anything, or they try to get something, get an IV through my hand, they can't get that. So yeah, I would prefer them just to use anesthesia because it's crazy. Like, I don't trust epidural. A lot of times people say that it doesn't work. It you still feel it, or it like numbs half of your body and then not the other part of your body, or they give it to you too soon and you still feel everything, or it doesn't like work at all. I'd rather take that chance with using anesthesia because then I know I'm going to be asleep. I know I'm going to be knocked out, and I trust God sending me under anesthesia because that's all it is. I mean, I don't trust the doctors. I don't trust the surgeons. I don't trust nobody. I trust God, and that's all I need to trust. And if God trusts them, then I know I'm in good hands. I ain't got to trust him, but long as God trusts him. And so I'm excited to meet him. But this was just a video because I see a lot of people talking about, they planned a natural birth and everything, and why people so against natural birth, and why some people is want to like they're pro epidural, but I'm not for epidural. I don't want nobody sticking me in around my back. And I also experienced my goddaughter being born, and trust me, my cousin Osmo had to go through emergency C-section because the epidural she gave her, she started shivering really bad, and then she stopped responding. So like they had to try. It took them about 5 to 10 minutes to get her back to responding, and she was about to have, and she had got an epidural, and she was about to have an emergency C-section. She had to be induced because of her stress level, so the baby was in distress and stuff. But I'm just saying, like, everybody be so pro epidural, and yeah, I'm getting it. You should get it. God made it. God helped them created it, so you should get it. But I think if God blessed you with a baby, I think He'll bless you with delivering that baby safely and whatever you have to do. But I'm just saying, I'm not for epidural. No, I'm not for any type of pain medicine. A lot of times I try to manage it myself because a lot of times when I do take a I can't take no more than Motrin or something. If it's higher than that, then it's a problem. So a lot of times I always have to find techniques to like help me with pain, whether it's hot ice or hot rice, hot water bottles, heating pads, massage, soaking in a tub, stuff like that, and not be able to take any pain medicine. Because a lot of times I have a really bad reaction to it, where like my whole neck, I get swollen and puffy, and then all of here, and then it sucks. It really does. Like, because you can't do anything about it. And then they can't give you anything for pain because you're having an allergic reaction from a pain medicine. Or they try to give you antibiotics and then you have another reaction from antibiotics. I think a lot of times we as humans are just experienced. Let's see what works on who and how it works. But a lot of times coming up, I've had a lot of antibiotics. I've taken so many antibiotics in my life and pain medicine that um, I also am asthma. I have had asthma since I was 1. And when I researched, I had got this condition when I became allergic to the cold. And I was when I was growing up, I always was outside in the cold, always outside playing in the snow. And when I turned 16, one day we're at school, standing outside. My twin comes up to me and asks me, did someone hit me? And I said no. They said, "Was the size of a state on your face?" And I go in the bathroom, and it's like all of my cheek is covered with like just, if you can just imagine a state print on your face, but it's just like hives. At the time, I didn't know they were hives, but that's what they were called. And so we went to call my mom, and then she took me to the hospital, and they said, "Oh, well, they gave me Benadryl." I was like, "Oh, it's just allergic reaction." But it's like, you tell me it's allergic reaction, but you don't know what the allergic reaction is from. And so the next day I go, they give me the Benadryl, it goes away. But it takes a few hours. It heats up, like it makes your face feel like it's on fire, and you really want to scratch through your skin. Like, it got to the point where they put a glove on my hand and wrapped it around on both of my hands and wrapped it around with tape. And then the next day I go back to school, and it spreads from my face to my arms. the same condition. So I go and call my mom again and said, Mom, what happened yesterday just is spreading over my body. And so she take me back to the hospital. They give me Benadryl again, and they didn't use ice pack because they just gave me Benadryl to see what it go down. And then so that's all they gave me. The third day, go back to the hospital, and it's to the point where it came my feet. I couldn't walk. My feet felt like they were in blisters. My feet was so swollen, and I had at least because it's the winter time, so I had on 5 pair of socks, two pair of long johns and a pair of pants and all these shirts. And so I was wondering like, and plus a heavy coat that comes past my knees. And so the hospital finally, and what was at St. John, the hospital finally realized, they said, well, this is something more serious that we need to have her tested. And they sent me over to Children's, and Children's discovered that the lady gave me a shot because she was great. They were like ready to do all these tests. So this lady gave me a shot, and the lady, she said the shot's supposed to not get the big of as a quarter size, and she puts these ice packs on my arm. And like after like 15 to 20 minutes, I said, Mom, I can't feel my arms. I can't feel my arms. And so she went up to tell the nurse, the lady that was doing the test, that I said I couldn't feel my arms. And then so she comes over, and I had on a long sleeve. I didn't really. I had like on this gown, and I still was covered up in cover because when you go to the hospital, you're cold. And so she comes to take the ice packs off to find out that the hives had went just from being here, and it traveled all the way up my arm, to my back, down my arm, and they were so big, like they were like the hives was kind of connecting in the back from traveling from both of my arms, and they were connecting. And the nurse was kind of freaking out because she didn't know what she did, and all she did, I gave her the shot, I put ice on her, like you guys, tell me, and it was crazy. And then they discovered that my allergic reaction came from the ice packs. So they had diagnosed me with being allergic to the cold, where like if you're outside, like it came to the point they said, well, when you get somewhere, you need to get out. When you leave the house, you need to get out the house, get in the car, and get to your location. And that's kind of how my winters have been since I've been 16. You can't really go outside in the wintertime, and that thing sucks because he's due in the winter, and you can't really do anything. Or sometimes you just have to face it. Sometimes you just have to suffer with it because there's nothing they can do. They only thing they want to do is test on you, like usually as like a little gimme rat, a rat or something, but they don't really have anything to solve it. And or they give you these allergy shots, but I never made it past stage. I never got to make it past the first bottle in stage 3 of the allergy shots. You know, that's how bad it was. And then I was doing it for at least 2 years, and I kind of got tired of it because you have like your arms feel like somebody just injected you with like a golf ball. I mean like a baseball or something, because that's how big they would get from the shots. So I just quit it, and then I just live with it every day of being allergic to cold, and not knowing that medicine that I was taking all my life that was supposed to be helping me would turn out to cause a big problem in the future, in my future life. I never thought, I don't think anyone would think of it. There's not too many people in the world that live with this condition, so they really don't know how to treat it. They don't have medicine. The only thing they give you is cream or Benadryl, and they tell you to get like, with this condition, you have to take off everything, you know. Everything you have on. You want to try to stay warm, but once you get in like a warm environment like a house, you have to take off everything. And how it works, when the hives start to go away, your body feels like it's on fire. And the bad thing is that you're having an allergic reaction from the cold. So why do my body feel like it's on fire? So after you get in a warm place, your body, your skin, like it's like goes and like overacting, and you get heated up so fast. But even with that, you're itching. You want to like rip your skin off itching. So that's why I'm so against of getting a epidural and or anything else, because I've kind of been exposed to so many medicines already that have had a bad effect on my body, and I don't want to have to put myself with having a allergic reaction when I'm trying to give birth or something, and I don't want that to happen. That's my most fear. I'm not afraid of the needle or anything. My most fear is because doctors can't tell me if I'm going to have a reaction to this or not. Their theory is that they want to test it on me to see if I'm going to have one. So that's the only reason why I fear getting an epidural, is because I've had so many allergies to medicines, and all they are try to just keep trying you on other stuff, and it's just like, what would be the next up? And once that allergy reaction start, it doesn't slow down. You can't just like boom and it fix it like that. There's going to be, you're going to be suffering, and I'm already going to be suffering with labor. I don't have to be suffering with allergies, and then I have asthma, so all these allergies that you have, they also trigger with your asthma. So once the allergy is triggered, it triggers your asthma, which asthma is a lung disease. You breathing more hard, you're trying to stay focused, you're trying to not have an asthma attack, and I don't want all that stuff to happen. So that's my story of why I don't want an epidural, and why I prefer to use anesthesia to be put to sleep if there is an emergency. See, I prefer to have a plan than not have a plan. Yes, I got 3 plans. I want a water birth. If I can't have that, I want to be able to have a natural birth. But if natural birth doesn't go the way I wanted to go as planned, then if I have to have an emergency C-section, I would prefer anesthesia than over epidural. And if you guys watch the video, you understand why. But just give me some comments of, did it work for you? Did it not work for you? And love you guys. Check back in.